So, is it finally over for one of the best no annual fee credit cards launched in the last 5 years? Is this the nail in the coffin for the Bilt Mastercard, or just another bump on the path to being one of the most valuable credit cards, period? Well, that's what we're gonna find out in today's video. And if you're new here, hi, my name's John of John's Finance Tips, and this is a channel we dedicate to talking all things money, making, saving, investing. And the topic of today's video is whether or not the no annual fee Bilt Mastercard is costing Wells Fargo too much money, and if that's the ultimate downfall of the card. Our video is gonna have two sections. The first section, I'm gonna get everyone caught up to speed if you aren't aware of the no annual fee Bilt Mastercard. In the second section, we're gonna discuss some of the news out there to figure out if it's now the downfall of the card, and of course, I'll leave you with my final thoughts and recommendations. So section 1, card overview. Right now, the no annual fee Bilt Mastercard will earn you 3 points for every single dollar you spend on travel, 2 points for every single dollar you spend on dining, 1 point per dollar spent everywhere else. And all of these earnings are unlimited. In addition, what makes this card particularly unique are for folks who also rent. You will earn 1 point per dollar spent on rent, up to a max of 100,000 points from just rent each year. And of course, if your landlord does not accept credit cards, Bilt will actually cut a check to your landlord on your behalf, and you will still earn points for it. Now, here are some of the high-level benefits of the card. There's way too many to go into detail on this video, but the ones I want to call out are: 1, this card offers transfer partners, which in the points and miles space, in the credit card space, which I've been a part of for the last 10 years, does not happen for no annual fee credit cards. If you want to take points from a credit card and move them to an airline or a hotel partner, you should expect to pay anywhere from $95 up to $695 as an annual fee for premium credit cards. Bilt Mastercard, no annual fee, and you get some of the most valuable transfer partners in the game. Some of these transfer partners include ones like Air Canada, as well as Flying Blue, and one of my favorites, the Hyatt program. One of the best bang for buck hotel rewards programs still out there. The only other bank that transfers them is Chase. That's it. No one else does except Bilt. And to do transfers from Chase, you need an annual fee credit card from Chase. With Bilt, no annual fee. The Bilt Mastercard also has a promotion called the Rent Day promotion. Now, this isn't actually a benefit of the card, but it's something they've run for as long as I remember having the card, which is, well, since like forever. So on Rent Day, what happens is all of your earnings are doubled, which means instead of 3x for travel, it's 6x for travel. Instead of 2x for dining, it's 4x for dining. Instead of 1x everywhere, it's 2x everywhere. However, rent is still gonna earn you 1 point per dollar, and you can earn a max of 10,000 bonus points from this doubling. In addition to that, on many rent days, you also get bonuses when you transfer your Bilt points to other programs. In fact, currently for this Rent Day promotion, which happens on the 1st, there is right now a promotion where if you transfer Bilt points over to Alaska Airlines, you can get a bonus anywhere from 25% to 100%. Let me put that into perspective. American Express, Chase, Capital One, Citi. They'll offer bonuses where you can get anywhere from 10, 15, 30, sometimes 35%. Bilt comes in with a max bonus potential of 100%, which is absolutely insane. And I'll give you a couple quick examples of what exactly that means. I use a program called Seats.Aero to search award availability. It doesn't have every single airline program, but it does a really good job to give me direction. One of the programs it does have is Alaska Airlines. Now, Seats.Aero allows you to search for 60 days out award availability for free. If you want the full year, it is a paid subscription, which I think it's worth it, but you absolutely do not need to buy it. It's free to use. So you go to Seats.Aero, I filter down into the Alaska Airlines program, and I wanna search, let's say, for business class flights between North America and Asia. And I'm able to see that it would cost me 75,000 Alaska Airlines miles to fly in business class from Chicago to Tokyo, and about $19 in taxes and fees. However, if we layer on the transfer bonus that Bilt is offering for this rent day, on the low end, you'll get a 25% boost, which means this business class flight would cost you 60,000 miles. On the high end, you get a 100% point bonus, meaning it would only cost you 37,500 points. That is like criminally low, considering that's where most economy tickets come in at, but you're getting it in business. All you're taking advantage of is the Bilt Rent Day promotion, where you get a 100% bonus if you're a Bilt Platinum member. But let's say you didn't want to fly business to Tokyo and you just want to fly economy. Well, economy actually as a redemption is 37,500. However, if you stack on these bonuses that you can take advantage of, it could cost you as much as 28,000 Bilt points or as low as 18,750 Bilt points. Japan might be too far away. How about a family trip to Disney? Well, it looks like here you can book an economy ticket from LA to Orlando for 12,500 miles. However, if you layer on the bonuses, this could instead cost you as much as 10,000 Bilt points or as low as 6,500 Bilt points. So for a family of 4, that could be as low as 26,000 points getting one way out to Disney. With the Bilt card, you also get access to the Bilt dining program, which is just elevated earnings for popular restaurants. Instead of just earning my 3x for dining, if I go to these restaurants through Bilt Dining, I will right now get an additional 3x. So I could earn up to 6x per dining. Sometimes I've seen it as high as up to 10x per dining. The card, of course, has no foreign transaction fee. It also has cell phone protection, which is pretty unique. I actually used this feature on my American Express Platinum, where I had to pay a $50 deductible for an $800 coverage. With the Bilt card, you're actually covered for $800 with just a $25 deductible. You just need to use the Bilt card to pay your monthly phone bill. And of course, you get primary auto rental insurance. This is a really cool feature that Chase offers on their Sapphire products, which come with annual fees. Bilt, no annual fee. You go and pick up a rental car, you decline the insurance that they try to upsell you. And finally, sign-up bonus. Nada. And that's my biggest zonk for this card. If they offered something, 10,000 points, 20,000 points, heck, 5,000 points, it would send it over. But right now, there's nothing. The only thing I see available is getting an offer for getting 5x for every single dollar you spend for 5 days. Not official. I didn't get it. I'm kind of butthurt about it. But if you did, congratulations. And I'm always looking for data points. Let me know if you were able to get this. And if anyone is interested in the card and you'd like to support my channel, I would greatly appreciate it. You can feel free to check out my affiliate link in the description box down below. So with all of these goodies stacked up, you're probably thinking, what the heck is the catch? Well, it turns out the catch is that it's costing Wells Fargo a lot of money, to the tune of $10 million a month.
Wait, Wells Fargo? I thought we were talking about the Bilt Mastercard.
Good question. To understand this issue, I actually have to explain a little bit more about the dynamics between Wells Fargo and Bilt. You see, unlike Chase or American Express, they have credit cards and they also have a rewards program that sits on top of those credit cards. They own all of that in-house. Whereas with the Bilt Mastercard, it's really more of a points program that is currently sitting on top of Wells Fargo's infrastructure. But it's not necessarily owned in-house by Wells Fargo. You see, prior to Wells Fargo, Bilt was actually working with a smaller regional bank that acted as this infrastructure. And this type of relationship isn't unique. It's a model that's been used time and time again. For example, if you have a Hyatt credit card, well, you have the Hyatt Rewards program that sits on top of the Chase infrastructure. If you have a Delta credit card, that's the Delta Rewards program that sits on top of American Express. So you can think of the Bilt program sitting on top of Wells Fargo. At least that's how I like to think of it. But the issue, according to a recent article, is that Wells Fargo is losing $10 million a month in this partnership with Bilt. And to understand a bit of how Wells Fargo is losing $10 million a month, you have to understand how credit cards work and how they make money. There's a lot of nuance, but there's two main ways. The first way a credit card makes money is off of interest charges. Yes, there are people who hold balances on their credit cards month over month and they pay interest on it. Banks make a lot of money from that. The second are from interchange fees. Every time you swipe a credit card, some money goes to a bank and to a payment processor. Seems like Wells Fargo might have miscalculated how much they could make from both of those revenue streams. On the first revenue stream, Wells Fargo was expecting anywhere from 50 to 75% of users would hold a balance month over month, and they would scoop up some sweet interest. However, it turns out Bilt card members are savvy AF. Only 15 to 25% of cardholders are holding any balance from month to month. If you are an audience member and you have gotten a Bilt Mastercard based on my recommendation, that better be 0%. We do not hold balances. Period. To play this game, we're not getting into credit card debt. And if you can't do that, you cannot get this card. And the second revenue source of interchange fees, well, it turns out a lot of Bilt card members are only swiping the card on rent and they're not using it for other things. Personally, I don't really understand why not, because the 3x dining and converting it to Bilt points and then transferring out is incredibly valuable. But regardless, Wells Fargo is not making money because people aren't taking the card and swiping it for other things. And according to the Wall Street Journal article, when the partnership between Wells Fargo and Bilt ends in 2029, the Wells Fargo team have indicated that they are not going to renew if the current economics do not change in their favor, meaning if they don't stop losing money and they better start making some money. So you're probably wondering, and I was thinking the same thing, does it really matter for me as a Bilt card member? The answer is yes and no. Yes, it matters because when the contract comes for renewal and Wells Fargo does not renew, my card is probably worthless. I will not be able to use it because there is no bank underwriting any of it. They're not loaning me money through a credit card. The second reason all this matters is we might see a pullback in benefits. If Wells Fargo thinks that they're just spending and not getting anything in return, well, they're probably gonna figure out, well, hey, where can we cut from some of our spend? But here are the reasons why it doesn't matter. One, remember what I said, the Bilt program sits on top of Wells Fargo, the same way Hyatt sits on top of Chase and Delta sits on top of Amex. That means if this partnership doesn't renew in 2029, you still have your Bilt points. It's just not gonna have an attached card to it. You can still move them around and do as you will. In fact, you might not know this, but you can actually join the Bilt program without getting the Bilt card. I know it's a weird quirk. Of course, you're not gonna be able to earn points the same way you would with a card, but you can still be part of the program. The second reason I don't think it matters is because other banks have been able to figure out this issue. And the issue being having customers who are not necessarily holding balances. Case in point is the Chase Sapphire Reserve. This card launched in 2016 as one of the most viral travel credit cards, period. Jamie Dimon, the CEO of Chase, came out and said that they lost $200 million due to marketing on the card, from the sign-up bonus and from people not carrying balances. You know what he then said? He wishes that they had actually lost $400 million. Because what that card did was it pulled in more users. It also pulled in users who were spending more money to the tune of 50% more money. Yes, people who got the Chase Sapphire Reserve spent more on it. When you spend more money on it, what happens? You have interchange fees. In addition, I probably would think that they probably had some good cross-sell, upsell opportunities. Let's wrap this video so I can give you my take. One, I think Wells Fargo, rightfully, should be mad. They came into this partnership trying to make a bag, and they are not getting that bag. And I couldn't be happier for our Bilt card members who are not carrying balances, who are being very financially savvy. This is an absolute W for the everyday consumer, coming at the expense of Wells Fargo. Because truly, I think the only issue here is that a large bank underestimated the savviness of the average millennial. See, we grew up seeing our family, seeing friends straddle with credit card debt. And now we figured out, wait a minute, we can take all of this benefit and not have to suffer any of the consequences just by making credit card payments on time and in full. Sign me up any given day. Number two, 5 years from now is when this partnership could potentially end. 5 years in the credit card space is a lifetime. If we even just go back to 5 years prior in the credit card space, what was happening? Well, the old heads will probably know. SPG had just finished their merger with Marriott, and we were losing one of the most valuable hotel programs of its time. The American Express Gold was still the Preferred Rewards Gold, which was just like a bleh card that you would really only get for a sign-up bonus and never spend money on it. And how could I forget, back just 5 years ago, you could still convert your gift cards to money orders at Walmart. Doesn't exist anymore. So I'm not worried. In the next 5 years, I am sure that the Bilt team and the Wells Fargo team can put their heads together and come up with a program that's economically viable. And my third takeaway actually comes from reading this from Sean Walsh, who is their head of comms over at Bilt. The average Bilt card member is a net new to the underlying bank, meaning people who are never Wells Fargo customers now having a Bilt card are Wells Fargo customers. Two, the age is young. 31 years old is the average age of the Bilt card holder, and the average credit score is 760. Listen, I don't run a bank, but all I'm seeing is these customers have huge lifetime earnings potentials, which means for me, that's an incredibly valuable customer. I feel like any bank will look at this and be like, yep, we want that end consumer. So the average age of the Bilt customer is 31. They're eventually gonna get older. As they get older, they probably make more money. If they make more money, they'll probably spend more money. This to me is my bet as to why I don't think this Wells Fargo partnership is going anywhere. This is a very, 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 very valuable consumer basis. And if they don't capitalize on it, I am sure some bank would chomp at the bit to get access to this customer base. And that's the video, folks. This news is interesting. This news is something maybe to keep an eye on, but really, I'm not worried about it. All you need to know is the no annual fee Bilt Mastercard is still my #1 recommendation as the best no annual fee card for 2024. If you are interested, go ahead and check out my affiliate link down below. Otherwise, comments, questions, and I'll go ahead and catch you on the next video. Peace.